Good morning. Well, it's a big crowd here, so I got to really do what I'm supposed to do. I want to thank you all for coming, and I think we have a good members program here that's up to the members to make it work. This program's been around for a little while, off and on. So working with Rich Carlson and Tom with the SSF, we decided to try to put something together and get more people flying cross country. This is not about racing. Don't throw rocks at me. I like racing, but it's not about racing. It's about getting the basic foundation down and what the program is going to be. You got to be able to fly cross country, as you well know, before you can race. So just a couple of oversights here on this. This is a short slide. It has some information on it. The program is on the SSA webpage. The applications are there. We have two types of applications that you're going to see here. And we want people involved. We want experienced people. And we want to make instructors and what we call SME, subject matter experts, those that don't have an instructor rating, but have a lot of cross-country time. The program guide, the program is broken down in a couple of things. We have a program guide, and it includes some things like the cross-country syllabus. It talks about weather, accuracy landings, off-field landings, thermaling, cross-country techniques, and things of that nature. There's a small syllabus in there to structure your training by. This can be done at a camp. This can be done on an individual basis. This can be done in basically a lead and follow type things. But what we have here is hopefully a new path. As you know, the SSA program was revised after many years of being dormant, and the goal of this is to provide the SSA members with access to adequate and proficient cross-country instruction. And to meet these goals, as you will see, we have to have active instructors. You have to be an SSAI and hold a CFIG to be what we call a CCI, a cross-country instructor. And then we also have organizations and locations to host these cross-country instructors and these camps, which has been going on for many years with the SSA. We're just trying to bring things down that you have a program you can look at. And we can have, being an ex-military guy, have a little bit of a standardization. This guide doesn't mean you have to do exactly what the guide said. It has to be with just a foundation that you can use. Use it as a tool. The program basically sets qualifications and requirements for current SSAI instructors to be designated as a cross-country instructor. And non-SSAI instructors to be considered as a subject matter expert. Now what that is somebody that has a gold badge or higher, has flown certain qualities of cross-country time, can aid the cross-country instructor in providing a camp or some sort of training. And he offers experience levels as well between the two. You may have the SME is going to be maybe more qualified than the CCI, but the CCI has the FAA regulations. So it's not an issue, could be an issue of liability, but you want to make sure that when you teach, you have to have some sort of control and you must have some sort of certification to teach. So as I mentioned, to participate in this program, you have to have a private or sport pilot rating or higher, okay? No student pilots in the program. Okay, because we want to ensure that we are teaching qualified pilots. Visiting foreign pilots from Germany, England, or whatever can participate in the program. They can also participate even if they don't have a foreign pilot's license, but they hold a rated pilot's license based on their CAA. So this is the bottom line here, what we're talking about for the CCI. And I'm going to read it verbatim. You have to be a current SSAI. So how many CFIGs do we have in here? Okay, wow. Of the CFIGs, how many are SSAIs? Okay, so the ones that didn't raise their hand, you need to become an SSAI to participate in the program. And that all requires an application made on the SSA webpage through the Soaring Safety Foundation. Submit it, and you get your little certificate, and now you're an SSAI. Yes, sir?
The problem is we don't have any in my area. You need a bronze badge. They told you need the bronze badge to be able to do it, and most of them don't have bronze badge.
Well, we need to kind of work on that. Yes, sir?
We have understood that problem, and we have the ability to do this remotely. So all you need to do is contact the Soaring Safety Foundation, and we can work with you to get you the certificate. You have to demonstrate that you meet the requirements. We'll take your logbook entry endorsements as proof of that. We will issue you remotely the bronze badge, and then you can get your SSAI.
Like, I'm trying to get my bronze badge. I have to take the exam. I don't have anybody to sign me off. That's qualified.
That, again, come back to us in the Soaring Safety Foundation. We will do that for you.
So that's it. So the Soaring Safety Foundation is a major tool in this. So we want to ensure that. So SSAI, make application. Your SSAI is good for 5 years. Your CCI through this program is good for 5 years. The CCI is made on application. Okay, we don't need to, you fill the form out, and the SSA, the CCI, and the SME, both applications are on the SSA webpage, and at the end I'll explain exactly where it is, and also the handbook. That's all there right now. As a CCI, you have to hold a silver badge or higher, okay? Have logged at least 25 hours of cross-country time in gliders in the previous 2-year period. And within that previous year, completed at least 5 cross-country flights of a minimum distance of 100 statute miles, 160 kilometers, total distance, or completed 2 SSA contests, events, and completing all tasks assigned during the event. Now, sometimes the pros can't complete it because of a blue day or whatever. Down at the bottom, starting and completing 70% of the tasks will meet this requirement. This is the member's responsibility to fill the form out and submit it truthfully. That's all we ask, and that's what we need. This is your program. The SSA cannot survive without glider pilots. Glider pilots can survive without the SSA. So we need this happy medium to try to get young people flying, like this gentleman right here that flies the LaBelle in Washington. We need young people. We need more people doing cross-country, okay? Then you'll complete a CCI application with the above documentation confirmed, and the application submitted to the SSA. And then Denise will send that to me, and then we'll verify that 1, you have an SSAI, 2, you have a current CFIG, and then we'll issue the certificate, and you'll get a numeric certificate that's good for 5 years. Same with the SSAI. And then, just like all badges and things, then you'll be listed in the Soaring magazine. At Bob Smith is now a CCI, number 34, and you have that to work with, and it's good for 5 years. There's some required elements for a good cross-country program, and this has been going around for a long time. The original part of this by Dean Carswell and Bert Compton worked on some of this, and we're trying to revise this whole program, and hopefully this time it's going to work. So we need to encourage clubs to do cross-country soaring. I know a lot of clubs have different opinions on that. You can't take the glider, there's insurance, things like that. We need to work on that. We just need to work on that. That's going to be a club's individuality. Club instructors who are active cross-country pilots. We need the instructors that fly. That's what we need. Also, you got to have availability of some sort of sailplane with a performance to conduct this. I mean, the LaBelle, that's not real powerful, but you can do a lot with it. So somewhere around 30, 35, 28, Depends on most of this all depends on your environmental location too. So this program may be adjusted if you're out west and you deal with Rockies and you deal with wave, or you deal with a lot of different environmental conditions, your topography and things like that. So you look through the program and then adjust as necessary. As I mentioned, the program is for the members. It's your program. It's not my program. It's not the SSF's program. We're the oversight. We want to ensure this program gets going. So I need feedback. We need feedback. You know, if you find something that's a little bit different and you want to try something different, let's get some feedback. So we had feedback. For example, the SME, to be an SME, you had to have 250 hours in 2 years of cross-country time. Oh, man. Okay, so talking to Mike out in Oregon helped me out on this. So that's a little steep, okay? Well, I'd rather be a little steep than a little shallow than go back to steep. So back off. So now it's only required 100 hours in 2 years, which I think is more reasonable, okay? And if in some locations, if you can't do it, then let me know. You know, it's a members program. We're going to try to work. And we want this really actually to go. The program is broken down in about there's three booklets inside the program. We have a program guide, we have the instructor supplement, and then we have the cross-country handbook per se, all right? And the program guide basically sets the qualifications required for the current SSI to be considered, as I just mentioned. And the non-SSI to be considered a designation of that subject matter expert. Back in early 2000, we had Dean Carswell had a thing, and it was called the cross-country coach. Did anybody get the cross-country coach certificate in the room? Anybody ever get one? Oh, you got one, I got one. So that was a long time ago, but things have changed and now we're working and we're gonna make it better, hopefully. All the CCI and the SME should utilize the training procedures in the syllabus outlined in the cross-country instructor pilot program for the pilots as a minimum. It gives you the basic foundation. And then if you fly with an SME, is a big cross-country, you fly with Dick Butler or somebody like that, they're gonna give you their tips. So cross-country, a 300K cross-country done in 5 hours, okay, that's good. But if you want to do it in 3.5 or 4, we won't have a racing pilot. That's the whole thing. We need to get the basic foundation. This is the prerequisite for the SMEs. How many in here will be SMEs? How many would be maybe want to do SMEs? Okay, all right. It will, once it gets out, it's going to start expanding. You have to complete the gold badge or higher and have logged a minimum of 100 hours of cross-country time in gliders in the previous 2-year period. And then within that previous 2 year, complete 5 cross-country flights of a minimum distance of 200 statute miles, of 322 kilometers, or completed 2 SSA contests and complete the tasks assigned during the contest. Asterisk, same as the CCI, complete 70% of the task. Complete the SME application with the above document items confirmed and the application submitted to the program manager, myself, and the SSA. And then we will go through the application, and if you meet everything, we'll issue a certificate. Again, it's a pretty simple process, just like the SSAI. And that's basically what you end up getting. Something, and the S is for a cross-country instructor, and the SME is basically going to be cross-country coach or SME. You get a nice little patch. This is the patch from Dean Carswell did back in early 2000. Do you remember that patch? Did you get one? Okay. And you'll get the patch, and I think Denise said we may get a little pin. Get a pin with that. And again, 5 years. The 5 years prior, I mean, it's going to expire in 5 years. So give yourself a couple months and then get it renewed. And the program guide, it tells you how to renew it. And it's basically the same thing. Where do we find it? It's on the SSA webpage right now on the Badges and Award tab. Drop down to the badge record page. In the left column, the first thing you're going to see is CCI or SME application. They're separate applications. And then all the way down at the bottom, you'll find the cross-country handbook. So I have a few here already printed. Denise brought some from Hobbs. So those are welcome to take it. And if you don't get it, you can get on the webpage, you can download it. It's a Word document. And we can have, you can have that. Make sure your student or your trainee or your student or the pilot you're working with, make sure they get a copy of it too. And there's some technicalities in it, but we try to keep it simple. And you got a lot of references and things of that nature.